It is Monday on Raid Legends, but you knew that. Now, like with any other time, this portal simply never just calms down, there is always something happening. So this time around, it's progressive chance for Shadowkin legendaries, including Furball, and for some reason not including Harima because reasons. Anyway, so today we're going to do something a little bit different. Like, as people decide, do I or do I not spend all of my little purple shards for the chance of this champion? You've probably seen it before, but we're going to do our own take on it. And that is, well, I mean, you saw the video title, didn't you? You can read, hopefully. So we're going to get started, but in addition to mentioning the top 5, or should I say bottom 5, how Plarium should fix them, because they are buffing champions on occasion. Some of them end up quite good, some of them just end up a bit less bad than they were before. So starting off at number 5 is going to be Blind Seer. Now, first off, Blind Seer is not terrible, so to speak. She's just, well, it's not 2018 anymore. The game has moved on quite a lot. Good base speeds. I don't know why she got this high attack, etc. So she has like this, like it's not great. Like, we have champions who just do this far better. Like, okay, revive allies with 35 HP and no turn meter with block damage when you have Mighty Yuko who does this, and on a 4-turn cooldown and gives them increased speeds. And in terms of like shield and block debuffs, you have champions who cleanse as well. So where is she now? So I'd say first off, this shouldn't check accuracy. Like, she has no base accuracy anyway, just make it so that this doesn't require it. Bump up the chance up a bit, because we have champions who do this far better in terms of turn meter control. This should remove all debuffs from our allies, and this should be either a 4-turn cooldown, this should be protected, or it should just add like some turn meter or extra HP onto them, like that. Also, give her a bit of a graphical update. She doesn't look very good. Like, what's happening with her hair here? She's got just like bits of things sticking out of it. Like, I'm pretty sure there's a single hairbrush in the Durham Forest. Take it for yourself. Next is CLAIDNA. Now, in terms of looking like a Void Legendary, she certainly doesn't look like one. Like, yeah, you have some Void Legendaries in this game who look really fancy. Like this guy here. Where are you? Cardiel and you call the Scourge, and then you have a Pineapple. So first things first, the main thing I want to point out here is her A3. 3-turn cooldown, places block debuffs and revive on death allies 2 turns. Seems okay, right? Just memorize these details, because we're going to go back to a champion we just looked at just 10 seconds ago. Cardiel. Removes all debuffs from our allies, then block debuffs and revive on death, and can't be removed. Also a 3-turn cooldown. Also, this champion came out a full year or so before CLAIDNA did, so she's just like strictly worse than him for fun. But she does other things, right? Behold, a Hydra effect, I think. And behold what is not a Hydra effect. So this should go up to 100% chance, straight up, because we already have 100% chance sleeps in the game. They're called Siphi for Lost Brides, and yeah, sure. This should do something else. That's what I'd say. Whether you want to copy just Cardiel's A2 entirely, or make it so that both these effects can't be removed, sure. And if this is a Hydra effect, then give it like Hex or something. I don't know. And again with this, 30% chance of blocking the first hit of an attack. On a 60% chance, we already have something that blocks a 30 hit on attack, and it's Funny Bones over here, who people have long stopped complaining about because there have been bigger issues in the game lately that everyone is starting to realise is starting to become a little bit silly. So that's her, and also 100 speed, like, on that. Also, HP legendary, Void legendary. And I'm going to show you what is not a HP legendary. Oh, that's interesting, though, isn't it? Anyway, moving on, we have... Wait, no, I'm thinking of the other one, actually. We have Jinguan. The Jinguan has arrived to waste all of your Void Shards. You thought your Mercy would get you a siphi? No, you get this. Like, honestly, like they say, bad Void Legendaries need to exist to make the good ones seem better, but really, if you want siphi or you want Warlord, you could pull 50 Taras, and you're still going to keep going because a Taras isn't a siphi. So, he's another HP champ, but this time he has the exact same HP as Trunda. Progress. So, they've already buffed this guy once. Before, he only transferred a single debuff when we had, well, Lysandra, who is a champion from 1993, who does all that by default. So, okay, back to Jinguan. We have this, which is single targets, also places block active if they're under very specific debuffs, and then we have what places these debuffs. Now, again, just like CLAIDNA and Cardiel, there is something to bring up here. Attacks on enemies, places decreased accuracy and decreased crit damage on a 4-turn cooldown. Now, the reason I looked at Night Revenants is because our friend Whirling Frostking here also places decreased crit damage and decreased accuracy on a 3-turn cooldown, and these debuffs cannot be resisted. As for Jinguan, well, you need to build accuracy for him. But don't worry, because he plays a Strengthen on himself. By the way, Strengthen doesn't really do a whole lot by itself. I mean, if Strengthen did make HP champions hit harder as their version of, like, increased defense on defense champions, then sure, but they don't. And then you have his passive, which they have also buffed, but so this always works. This is a 4-turn cooldown, so you'd think he's kind of like some anti-CC champion, and he kind of would be, except two problems. First off, he isn't immune to turn meter reduction, and he's not immune to polymorph. Now, what's this? Oh, debuffs? Debuffs? What's going to happen if he tries using this against someone with polymorph? He gets turned into a sheep, and now he's useless. So, make it so this is, he can't be sheeped, he can't have his turn meter controlled, he's going to take his turn no matter what. You can't stop him too much because, honestly, it doesn't matter, he doesn't do too much anyway. But, what if we put this back to a 3-turn cooldown and I just attack everything? And at that point, he's quite an issue, isn't he, if he gets going? I mean, he's a Void Legendary. Like, other Void Legendaries get to do, like, 20 million things. Why can't he do, like, one thing? Like, besides, like, if you want the siphi, you get this guy, even if he's buffed, you don't care, so, like, why not, right? So, next is this guy. Designed as an anti-lockout champion, when we already have anti-lockouts in the game, they're called Mythicals. Pull Primal Shards, buy Primal Shards, buy more of them, pull them, you know, that's how this game works. His thing is that he does this on a 5-turn cooldown. 5 turns. Okay, so first off, you see high attack stat. It's good, right? He does no damage. He does no damage at all. Like, sure, he takes his turn. He gets one of these back. He hits something. This looking at him, and then because he has no self defense, he just dies. In terms of like the actual attributes of the skills, they are fine, but when you're an attack champion who has no real team utility at all, like, okay, great, just fear, right? In a way, against 6-star polymorph, he just gets sheeped off this, doesn't he? So just make it so this champion actually does damage, and maybe he won't be completely useless. Because until then, like, I mean, even if you're picking this guy as like your only thing against Lockout, if he really was a threat, they just ban him anyway, and the rest of the team dies to Lockout, they lose anyway. So it's like, just ban the Ward or Cricks, yeah, it's not worth it. And last we go over to back to the Shadowkin for Gin Rover Stalk. Now, they have said this a few times, or at least somewhat said it, that Doom Tower legendaries are meant to be bad because they are free legendaries and anyone can get them. Which is strange because they've had champions available to all players before and they've been not quite terrible. In fact, you've had some that have been such complete mistakes that Plarium have admitted that they're mistakes and have started balancing the game entirely around them. So what's the deal with the Doom Tower legendaries all being spuds? We don't know. Anyway, so this guy is... Okay, so his main thing is that he has resistance to accuracy conversion. You ignore accuracy, build resistance, it works this in a way. Except he doesn't do anything again. First off, looking at his A3. Now, okay, got that memorized? Now, let's go back to Night Revenants, down past Legendaries, down past the Epics, into the Rares. Oh, what's this? The exact same skill, except he gets counterattack buff for 3 turns, and this is a rare compared to a Void Legendary who requires Legendary books, and yeah, but don't worry, he gets defense every time he counterattacks, and it resets. Why? Plarium do know that defense can't stack up to like the point where you can't be damaged, right? The ignore defense does exist in the game. There's lots of it. It's called item sets. Champions have it. There's ways to block this passive entirely, you know, Ramon 2, Ronda, etc. And you can only have up to 85% damage mitigation. So why not just let him keep it? And then we have a proc on a 4-turn cooldown on the enemies under increased attack. If they're under anything else, he doesn't care. He won't provoke them. They have to be increased attack only. And our funny old friend is going to turn Gin Rover Stalk into Gin Rover Sheep. I mean, the game is balanced around 6-star polymorph at this point. You may not like it, but it is. If you don't have 6-star polymorph in everyone, buy Soul Stones until you have. That's how they want you to play. So he also has this, which capitalizes turns for some reason. Ignores block buffs and block debuffs and block damage. Just have it ignore everything. Like Stone Skin, whatever. In fact, just turn him into a sheep. Like, that's how the game is nowadays. We have other champions who turn people into sheep entirely on demand. People are defending it to the grave because they know that if they don't pick this champion in live arena, they'll be back in Gold 1 where they belong. And yeah. So get back to Stalky Boy once again. So obviously there's no point saying make this don't check accuracy because he builds resist anyway, but make these protected, give him this for like another turn. In fact, just make this 4 turns. It's a Void Legendary, who cares? Make it so that defense doesn't reset, and I mean, I'd say if you're not going to change this too much, put it down to a 2-turn cooldown. Again, we have champions who stun for 2 turns on a 2-turn cooldown on the entire team. Again, our mans, and yeah. Also, a bit of speed would be nice. 90 is pretty low. And then I'm going to say last is honorable mention to Fortis, who has been buffed twice now. Still no one wants him. I don't know why he's got this thing where either he sometimes needs accuracy, sometimes he needs critical, like, but sometimes he doesn't. You have to build it in a way. Just make it so he never needs to build accuracy or to critical. Like, he's not that good in a way, so. Anyway, so am I going to pull for Yumiko? The answer is Yumik, no. That'll be all. Bye.